Nestled in the Lincolnshire countryside is the small market town of Alford and one of Britain's biggest collectors. Ron Broomfield is a retired window cleaner and has spent his entire adult life wholeheartedly hooked on his hobby.
I started collecting gnomes about 50 odd years ago, and it really is not just a part of my life, the whole of my life. My life revolves around collecting gnomes and talking about gnomes all the time. I've got 1,700 of them everywhere. In the garden, in the house, in the bedroom, in the bathroom, you name it, you'll find a gnome. I have got about 5 or 6 favourite gnomes. This is one of the first 7 gnomes I bought. I bought these 50 years ago. I've got the cutest little bands you've ever met. I've got a lampshade gnome. Lights up. Makes them a little bit on the expensive side. The most I've ever spent on a gnome is about £100. The number one gnome in my collection is Sandy the gnome. That's Sandy, I would say 30, 35 years.
Ron keeps track of his 1,725 gnomes with a meticulous logbook.
It tells you when I bought them, the year I bought them, that was 1965. And a little while after that, I collected a few more, saw a few more. Gnomes sleeping under a mushroom. And that was quite cheap. That was £2.99. And then I was hooked on them. I became a gnome collector, and then I became a gnome.
But becoming a gnome wasn't originally Ron's idea.
I lived in a cul-de-sac with a school at the bottom, and when the mothers come down, and they said, "You look more like a gnome every day, Ron." So they made my first outfit for me.
It appears that being a gnome comes with a strict dress code.
And now we put on the famous hat, the gnome hat. A gnome never takes his hat off. He sleeps in it, he goes to the bath in it. It's against the religion of a gnome. There, all ready to go shopping.
And dressing as a gnome isn't limited to the confines of Ron's cottage.
Oh, what a lovely day. I have a trolley made into a gnomobile, which I put all my shopping in. And that has gnomes on top of it.
Morning, Ron.
Morning. In Alford, I've become quite famous. Nearly everyone knows who I am.
Hello, Ron. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad. First, they thought it was a bit funny, and I'm a part of the scenery now.
He's a bit of a star, a local personality in Alford.
If I didn't collect gnomes, suddenly decided to give them all up, I don't know, it'd be very dull. I'd have no interest in anything. You've got to have an interest in something. It keeps you young.